The massive Nintendo Switch Christmas eShop sale is live, and today I've got 15 incredible games under $10 or your regional equivalent, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Plus, we're announcing the winner of a $10 eShop gift card, and do not worry if you missed out, we've got another one to give away as well. To enter, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Thursday's video. Now, if you do enjoy deals, reviews, news and lists all about Nintendo, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a huge amount, especially as we do head into 2025. I think it's going to be a massive year for the channel. And if you're into content like this for PlayStation, check out our channel, PlayStation Corner. You'll find that linked in the pinned comment below. Now, let's get into these deals. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is 75% off a new low price, and while it launched in rough shape, the developers poured a lot of love into it with numerous patches, turning it into an easy recommendation today. Now, it's often considered a spiritual successor to Castlevania, and it captures the best of the genre in my opinion with a modern twist. Now, the story follows Miriam, an orphan cursed by an alchemist ritual that turns her body into crystal. Now, waking after years in slumber, she must explore a massive demon-infested castle to stop her former friend and save humanity. The narrative here, it's steeped in gothic charm with plenty of twists along the journey, and the gameplay then, it's classic Metroidvania with an emphasis on exploration, combat and upgrades. Expect though as well, kind of growing the character. You'll collect shards to unlock new abilities, craft gear and take on a huge amount of bosses across the location. It is a polished, rewarding game, and at 75% off, I think it's a fantastic pick for fans of the genre. Phoenotopia Awakening is 65% off, matching its lowest price, and as you'll see in my review linked in the pinned comment, I am a massive fan of this game. It's essentially a love letter to Zelda 2, blending an overworld map with 2D exploration and dungeons. Now, at launch, I will say here, it was brutally difficult, which turned many off, but after balancing patches, it is now a near perfect experience. And the story then begins with the adults of your village mysteriously vanishing, and you play as Gale, a plucky heroine who sets out on a journey across this world to uncover the truth behind their disappearance. The narrative for me was quite heartfelt, with memorable characters and also a really nice sense of adventure that kept me hooked. And the gameplay then revolves around exploration, puzzle solving and combat, and the 2D dungeons are packed with clever challenges, and actually the overworld as well offers plenty of secrets to uncover. Combine all of this then with stunning pixel art and a fantastic soundtrack, and yeah, I think it's a must play for fans of classic action adventure games. New Star GP is 80% off a new low price, and this is a unique racer that blends retro arcade visuals with some surprisingly deep, almost sim elements. Now, it has a virtual racing vibe with its low poly aesthetic, but it incorporates then strategic gameplay like tire management, pit stops and race perks. The racing itself then is fast and fun, and the variety of modes, it takes you through decades of motorsport history starting in the 1980s. Now, along the journey, you'll upgrade your car, manage strategy, and compete in all sorts of races against really quite tough CPU opponents. There's also a split-screen multiplayer for some fun with friends, plus a create a championship mode for custom competitions. My only complaint here is the unlocked frame rate. You'll notice dips at times, but it is still perfectly playable. And as a fan, I highly recommend it, especially for those looking for something a little bit different on the system. I've always wanted F1, and this, to a certain extent, kind of scratches that itch. Thanks to Untold Tales for sponsoring today's video with their latest release, the impressive Chernobylite. Now, I played this on PlayStation and I adored it. It is a unique blend of survival horror and then RPG elements, all within an incredible setting that for me at least pulled me immediately in. The story then follows Igor, a physicist returning to the Chernobyl exclusion zone decades after the disaster. You're searching for answers about your missing fiancée. She mysteriously disappeared. The game's narrative then is just steeped in mystery, conspiracy, and emotions basically, and it offers this really kind of interesting non-linear approach to its storytelling where your decisions, they actually carry real weight. And the gameplay then combines survival mechanics, resource management, and base building. And yeah, you'll recruit a team of companions, craft gadgets, weapons, traps, and assign tasks to gather resources or even scout new areas. Out in the zone then, it's really all about adapting, use stealth to avoid enemies, or engage in intense combat with scavengers. Expect more than a few mutated creatures on top of this, as well as military forces. It's a tough game, this one, definitely rewarding, but for me, if anything, it's the setting itself that is the standout. It's a hauntingly detailed recreation of Chernobyl, full of just tension and environmental storytelling, kind of like a window, to the past. If you love survival games with a strong narrative and exploration, it's one to check out. It is 33% off right now as part of its launch discount that's running through the end of the year. There's also some really interesting DLCs available, weapon skins, the soundtrack, a digital art book. So yeah, if you're looking to take the experience even further, maybe pick to them as well. Now thanks again then to Untold Tales for sponsoring the video. You can check out Chernobylite in the pinned comment down below. And now, back to the deals. Fez is 75% off a new low price. This is a modern classic. Now if you're looking for an adventure puzzle platformer, it's one of the best, packed with incredibly creative moments that redefine how you think about platforming. Now you play as Gomez, a 2D creature living in a 2D world, or at least that is until he discovers the third dimension. That is, after basically receiving a magical Fez, we now gain this ability to rotate the world around you so we can reveal hidden paths, puzzles and secrets. And yeah, really the gameplay revolves around exploring this incredible environment, solving these spatial puzzles and collecting cubes to restore balance to the universe. While the narrative then is minimal, the sense of discovery and the clever use of perspective really makes it unforgettable, and also the charm of its pixel art world, combined with this stunning soundtrack. It's really a game to me that is now, I guess, timeless. At 75% off, it's a must-play for fans of puzzle, platformers and indie gems. Alba, a wildlife adventure, is 80% off a new at a low price, and while I'm not typically drawn to cozy games, this one hooked me. It's an adventure game with a chilled kind of feel-good vibe, but it's got just enough exploration and discovery to keep me at least engaged. If you're looking for something relaxing yet, I guess, meaningful at the same time because of that narrative, I think this is actually a really good choice. The story, it follows Alba, who visits her grandparents on a Mediterranean island for what she hopes to be basically a peaceful summer of wildlife exploration with her friends. However, after witnessing an animal in danger, Alba takes action to save not just the wildlife, but this entire island. Now along the way, we'll recruit volunteers, clean up litter, form a organization with a mission to protect the beauty and the biodiversity. In the gameplay then, it's all about exploring the island at your own pace, just discovering these animals, helping locals, performing small but impactful good deeds. That's kind of the whole, I guess, vibe of this experience. Really like the visuals then as well. The soundtrack is lovely, it really kind of complements the game's relaxing atmosphere. But yeah, I think it is a winner. Far Changing Tides is 80% off a new at a low price, and as a fan of the series, I highly recommend it. Now this is a sequel to Far Lone Sails, which is also on sale, and while the first game focused on traversing a crumbling world, this one shifts to an aquatic setting, offering a fresh take while continuing that same kind of haunting theme that it is known for. Now the story is entirely wordless, leaving much up for interpretation, but you play as essentially a young boy navigating a submerged world, piecing together, I guess, a narrative through the environment and that journey. It's kind of subtle, emotional, very atmospheric. But yeah, the gameplay then revolves around managing and upgrading your vessel as you explore this flooded world. So you'll sail, dive, repair your ship, solve environmental puzzles to progress. It is definitely a slow kind of meditative experience. I do want to put that out there. It's all about exploration over action. So yeah, for that reason, I'm going to say it won't be for everyone. So if you're curious, check out my review in the pinned comments. And yeah, I think, again, beautiful game, thought-provoking, definitely worth a look. ScourgeBringer is 80% off and new at a low price, and this one has a lot going for it. The fast-paced gameplay is the highlight. It's a kind of frantic, very responsive experience. But honestly, it was actually the visuals that hooked me first. That vibrant pixel art is stunning. It gives the game a very unique style that stands out. The story then, minimal, but kind of mysterious. You're a warrior exploring a post-apocalyptic world to uncover the secrets of a mysterious structure that threatens humanity. It's more kind of a backdrop to the gameplay, transparently, but that's really kind of what you're coming for. It's this high-energy blend of platforming and combat with really fluid movement and really strong, impressive melee attacks. It is then as well a roguelike at heart, so expect procedurally generated levels, challenging enemies, and plenty of upgrades to keep each of these runs fresh. Now, if you're into fast action and really gorgeous visuals, take a look. The Last Campfire is 90% off, matching its lowest price, and it might surprise you to learn that this is actually from the team behind No Man's Sky. They went bite-sized with this release. It is a beautiful adventure platformer, and it's a much smaller, much personal approach. It's really again, unique, I guess, is the best word I can go for. But yeah, the story follows Ember, a lost soul, navigating a mysterious world filled with puzzles, secrets, and other lost souls called Forlorn. Now, your journey revolves around helping these Forlorn find hope again while uncovering your own path forward. It's a tale of loss, discovery, connection, and the gameplay then combines exploration with really fun environmental puzzles. Now you'll be guiding Ember through a huge amount of landscapes, honestly. You'll be solving challenges to progress, and you'll interact with a world brimming with charm. The combination of touching narrative then and accessible gameplay makes it a memorable experience for players of all levels, and really my only complaint here is the frame rate is unlocked and it kind of goes, never drops far, but it goes up and down, and I just don't see why they didn't lock this one 30. A Monsters Expedition is 60% off a new low price, and worth noting it actually had a price increase from $20 to $25 recently, so I'm not sure if they threw in new content, but I can't say myself. I actually reviewed it back at launch. That said, I adored it then, and that video is linked below. Also, this is a price we've never seen before, so it's still cheaper than ever, always a good thing. Now, the gameplay though, it revolves around solving environmental puzzles as a friendly monster. Basically, it's this collection of tiny islands, and you'll be pushing trees to create paths between these islands. So some really clever mechanics in here, and it definitely ramps that challenge in a really nice way. Along the way as well, you'll uncover exhibits about human artifacts, and it's definitely got a lot of personality to the experience. So yeah, I think overall, it's kind of a relaxing, very unique game. Definitely underappreciated in my opinion on this system. So yeah, maybe take a look. Dead or School is 85% off a new low price, and if you want something a little, I guess, janky, but packed with charm, it might be for you. I reviewed it, linked below, and found myself surprisingly hooked, despite the ridiculous premise, and that is you play as Hisako, a girl living in an underground world overrun by the dead. You dream of reopening a school. So now you're armed with your grandma's old school uniform, and we set out to recruit teachers and students while battling hordes of zombies. It's bizarre, there's no doubt about it, but that's kind of also part of the game's charm. The gameplay then is a side-scrolling action-adventure with hack-and-slash combat. In your world, a mix of melee and ranged weapons. You'll be leveling up, upgrading gear, and unlocking new abilities as you do progress. It's really this nice kind of combination, in my opinion, of fast-paced action with almost light exploration and RPG elements. Haiku the Robot is 55% off a new low price, and a hidden gem that the platforming fans shouldn't miss. With its tight, responsive gameplay and charming kind of Game Boy-inspired visuals, I think it's a standout indie title. The story takes place in a post-apocalyptic world inhabited by robots. Now you play as title Haiku, a curious little robot exploring a mysterious and decayed mechanical landscape to uncover the truth behind the collapse of this civilization. Now, transparently, that narrative very subtle. It's told through environmental interactions, I guess, and also kind of quirky characters. But the gameplay is where it's at. It's kind of classic Metroidvania with interconnected areas to explore, upgrades to unlock, and secrets to find. The platforming is really nice as well, and the combat feels incredibly satisfying. Also, it's a world that allows you to really explore. There's a lot of paths that you don't really need to go down to, so it rewards curiosity in that sense, and there's some really good fights in here as well. So yeah, 55% off, really nice adventure game, great pickup for fans of even retro-styled exploration games as well as Metroidvanias. Super Magbot is 80% off, matching its lowest price. It's another hidden gem, though definitely an acquired taste due to its steep learning curve and often brutal difficulty. Now personally I loved it, and if you're curious you can find my review link below. The gameplay though is a twist on traditional platforming, so your character here can't jump. Instead you'll use magnetic powers to traverse levels, alternating between positive and negative poles to attract and repel yourself across obstacles. Basically it's all about precision, quick reflexes, and yeah, the game here demands some careful planning and execution to succeed. I promise you, it can get frustrating very quickly. On top of this as well, each level introduces new challenges, new mechanics. So yeah, it is tough as nails, really fun though, definitely worth a look if that is your vibe. Fashion Police Squad is 50% off a new low price. This is a first-person shooter, like, well, frankly, no other. Its creative twist here centers on fashion, and the game delivers this over-the-top narrative and I guess uniquely stylish weapons that set it apart from traditional shooters. Now, the story here puts you in the role of a fabulous officer of the Fashion Police Squad, and you're tasked with tackling crimes against fashion in the city. So think drab suits, clashing colours. You'll face poorly dressed foes and basically fix their fashion with an arsenal of weapons. The gameplay is basically a mix of fast-paced shooting and almost problem-solving here. But yeah, instead of simply blasting enemies, you'll be using specific weapons like the Bout of Justice or the Sock Gnomes to correct fashion crimes, and each enemy type actually requires a specific solution, so it's quite unique in that sense. It's very refreshing to see a strategic take on first-person shooting. Also, visuals are really good. I like the sense of humor, and yeah, overall I think it's actually a standout choice for someone that maybe wants something a little bit fun and I guess different. Choo Charles is 75% off a new low price. It's one of the most unique horror experiences you'll find, and yes, it's janky and the world can feel sparse, but its B-movie charm hooked me now, plus it's also bite-sized. You'll actually wrap up the story here in just a couple of hours, which I think complements the price point here very well. Now, while the stealth sequences and lack of on-foot gunplay, they're definite weak points for this experience, I think the overall vibe makes it worth the ride if it clicks with you. Now, the story revolves around a mysterious, bloodthirsty spider train named Charles that's terrorizing a remote island. You take control of a train equipped with customizable weapons, and yeah, you're setting out to stop Charles once and for all. Along the way, you'll help some more than unusual NPCs, collect resources, and of course, upgrade your train to stand a better chance in what will become, I guess, a final showdown. Gameplay, though, centers on managing that train, exploring the island, and preparing for encounters with him as he comes charging at any moment. And that train also serves as a base, so your mode of travel, your weapons can be stored here. It offers upgrades like increased speed, armor, mounted guns, and yeah, I actually think the combination here of resource management, exploration, boss fights makes it a unique horror experience. It's definitely not scary at all, but it is a lot of fun in that kind of, again, B-movie way. Our winner of the week then, it's going to Mahal, who highlighted the Lego Harry Potter games. Tons of Lego games on sale right now if you want to jump into the eShop, check them out. Alternatively, my video from last week is still live, all of those deals still running, so I'll link that down below as well. Congrats on the win though, Mahal. Drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Thursday's video. Okami HD is 75% off at a new low price, and this is a classic. It's a joy as well to know that a sequel is finally in the works, because it is a masterpiece, this game. It's a timeless blend of art, story, and gameplay, and it holds up beautifully today. The story follows the Japanese sun goddess in the form of a wolf. She embarks on a journey to restore colour and life to a cursed, darkened world. You're basically drawing here from Japanese mythology, and the narrative is really unique. It's filled with so many memorable characters and actually really emotional moments as well. In the gameplay, it's a mix of action, exploration, and puzzle solving. There's basically this celestial brush mechanic that lets you draw on screen to solve puzzles, attack enemies, or manipulate the environment in very creative ways. Combine it then with stunning watercolor art style and an amazing soundtrack, and yeah, Okami is an unforgettable experience, and this is by far one of the best ways to play it. And that's the video done. What will you be picking up this week? Let us know in the comments. With that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks all.